A pilot who appeared on a popular national TV show died when his helicopter went down in Lynn County.
James Lawrence Jackson Smith, guilty of the crime of assault in the first degree as charged in count 1 of the information.
Axemen cast members, the American reality television series aired between 2008 and 2019 on History Channel, attracting a significant viewership while documenting the high-risk world of logging. Unfortunately, the show's legacy has been marked by tragedy. Behind all that adrenaline, sawdust, and booming engines were stories that took shocking, heartbreaking turns. Some ended in tragedy, others in jail, and a few will completely stun you. So sit tight, because what happened to these men will leave you speechless till the very last name on this list. Number 6. Gabe Rygaard. Gabe Rygaard embodied the rugged spirit of logging that made Axemen so popular with viewers. Born in 1971 in Port Angeles, Washington, Rygaard grew up immersed in the logging industry that would eventually make him a television personality. A hometown boy through and through, he graduated from Port Angeles High School in 1989 before following in his father's footsteps. At the core of Rygaard's identity was his deep connection to family and the logging business. As a certified master logger, he co-owned and operated Rygaard Logging alongside his brother Jason and son Aiden. Furthermore, his entrepreneurial spirit extended beyond logging. He owned timber brokerage company Ryfield Properties, Inc. in Port Angeles and Penny Creek Quarry in Quilcene, Washington. Family played a central role in Rygaard's life. He was married to Katie Sotebier Rygaard, who served not only as his wife, but also as his business partner. Together, they raised 3 children, Trilby, Tucker, and Aiden. Notably, Aiden followed his father into the family business, working at Rygaard Logging. Beyond his logging career, Rygaard ventured into politics in 2016, running as a Republican candidate for Clallam County Commissioner. Although he campaigned actively, he did not advance past the primary election to the November general election. Rygaard's television journey began during the 2nd season of Axemen, when he had recently taken over Rygaard Logging from his father, Craig, who founded the company in the early 1990s. Throughout his time on the show, viewers watched him navigate the challenges of the logging industry while managing family dynamics. For 9 consecutive seasons, Rygaard and his crew were featured prominently on the History Channel series. His father, Craig, retired at the end of the show's 6th season, officially handing over full control of the company to Gabe. Under his leadership, Rygaard Logging became one of the most recognized logging operations on the program. The show showcased his determination to succeed in a dangerous industry. His competitive nature and drive to overcome obstacles made him a compelling character for audiences. Nevertheless, the History Channel canceled the series in early 2016, shortly before Rygaard's tragic death. On September 16, 2016, tragedy struck when Rygaard was involved in a fatal 3-vehicle collision on U.S. Highway 101 near Port Angeles. The accident occurred shortly before 9:30 a.m. when a Chevrolet Tahoe in front of Rygaard's white 1995 Ford Bronco stopped unexpectedly. According to Washington State Police, Rygaard attempted to avoid the SUV by veering left but struck it anyway. Subsequently, his Bronco spun into oncoming traffic, colliding with a maroon Dodge Ram van that was hauling a kayak trailer. Critically, investigators noted Rygaard was not wearing a seatbelt at the time of the crash. Following the accident, Rygaard was transported to Olympic Medical Center, where he was pronounced dead. He was 45 years old. In a heartbreaking coincidence, the day of the accident was also his son Tucker's 11th birthday. As the legend of Axemen grew, so did the dark stories behind the cameras. Some ended in heartbreak, others in handcuffs. Keep watching till the very end, because the final reveal will genuinely leave you speechless. Number 5. Stacy Roberson. Stacy Roberson's sudden death in 2018 left a profound impact on the Axemen community, especially among his colleagues at Peel Logging. As a skilled yarder engineer, his contributions to the logging industry and the popular History Channel series were significant, despite his relatively short time in the spotlight. Born on May 11, 1980, Stacy Roberson was an Oregon native who devoted his life to the logging industry. By the time he joined the cast of Axemen, he had established himself as a skilled logger with considerable expertise. Though information about his early life remains limited in public records, his professional reputation spoke volumes about his dedication to the craft. Family was central to Roberson's life. He was married to Angela, and together they raised 3 children. Their relationship formed the backbone of his personal life, with Angela later describing him as the main source of income for the household. His sister, Jelena Roberson, remained close to him throughout his life and would later play a crucial role in supporting his family after his passing. Roberson made his mark on Axemen as a yarder engineer for peel logging. His position was vital to the operation. As a yarder operator, he controlled the heavy machinery that moved felled trees from the cutting site to landing areas for processing. This dangerous yet essential role showcased his technical expertise and commitment to safety in one of logging's most hazardous positions. In addition to working with Mike Peel's operation, Roberson had previously collaborated with Big Gun Logging. Alongside owner Levi Brown and Luke Brown, he helped build a reputation for taking on challenging jobs that other logging crews avoided. His skill set made him invaluable to the logging crews featured on the show, regardless of which company he worked with at the time. Throughout the series, Roberson demonstrated the qualities that defined successful loggers: resilience, technical knowledge, and an ability to perform under pressure. Mike Peel later remarked that Roberson had logging in his blood, and that's pretty much all he knew. On December 15, 2018, Stacy Roberson passed away suddenly at approximately 38 years of age. The exact circumstances surrounding his death remain somewhat unclear, which led to speculation within the Axemen community. Initially, some viewers believed he had died in a logging accident, which would have been tragically ironic, given the dangers regularly highlighted on the show. However, according to fan discussions on the Axemen Facebook page, Roberson may have suffered a heart attack in his sleep, though this information cannot be definitively confirmed. Mike Pyle learned of Roberson's death directly from Angela in what he described as a very emotional conversation, where there were just no words. His death occurred during filming of the show, adding another layer of poignancy to the loss felt by the production team and viewers. The news shocked fans of the series, especially coming after several other cast member deaths in previous years. Number 4. William Bart Colantuono. The tragic helicopter crash that claimed William Bart Colantuono's life marked the 3rd death among the Axemen cast, underscoring the genuine dangers faced by logging industry professionals. Unlike many reality TV personalities, Colantuono brought authentic expertise and experience to his role on the show. William Bart Colantuono was born on December 14, 1959, and resided in Indialantic, Florida, when not working in the logging industry. His aviation journey began in the United States Navy, where he learned to fly helicopters, skills that would later define his career. Throughout his professional life, Colantuono accumulated more than 15,000 flying hours, establishing himself as an experienced aviator. Beyond his professional accomplishments, Colantuono was a family man who balanced his high-risk career with personal interests. He was married and had 4 children. When not in the air, he enjoyed staying active through racquetball, exercise, and kayaking. Moreover, Colantuono authored a book titled Heli Logging in a Sucker Hole, sharing his specialized knowledge with others in the industry. Colantuono appeared in the 2nd and 3rd seasons of Axemen, bringing viewers inside the specialized world of helicopter logging. As a helicopter pilot for R&R Connor Aviation of Darby, Montana, he served as the company's chief pilot for many years. The History Channel described him as a smart pilot who isn't afraid to take risks. He's been flying for a long time and views helicopter logging as a competitive sport. He competes against himself, against the machine, and against the weather. His colleagues at R&R Connor Aviation considered him instrumental to their growth and success. Significantly, Colantuono dedicated considerable personal time to training younger pilots, generously sharing his expertise as they built their aviation careers. This mentorship role demonstrated his commitment to the industry beyond his television appearances. On September 16, 2013, Colantuono was killed when his helicopter crashed while attempting to lift logs in an Oregon forest near Detroit Lake. At the time of the accident, he was 54 years old. Witnesses provided crucial details about the crash, telling Lynn County deputies that Colantuono released the logs before the crash occurred, suggesting he recognized a problem with the aircraft. Eyewitnesses further reported seeing a rotor separate from the helicopter before it flipped and crashed upside down. Colantuono was the only person aboard the aircraft and was pronounced dead at the scene. Following the incident, federal investigators worked to determine the precise cause of the crash. The History Channel and Original Productions released a statement expressing their condolences. "We are extremely saddened to learn that a member of the Axemen family, Bart Colantuono, has passed away. All of us at History and Original Productions, along with our Axemen team, would like to extend our heartfelt condolences to the family and friends of Bart. He was an important part of Axemen when he appeared in seasons 2 and 3, and his talents will be greatly missed." Those who worked closely with Colantuono remembered him fondly. R. and R. Connor. Aviation described him as one of a kind, a gentle soul who touched everyone who had the privilege of meeting him. His colleagues characterized him as having a laugh that was infectious, and his heart was huge, calling him an amazing man, talented pilot, great friend, and loving father. Undeniably, Colantuono's passion for living life on the edge and filled with adventure defined both his personal life and professional career. His death represented not just a loss to the television series, but to the specialized world of helicopter logging, where his expertise and mentorship had significant impact. The deeper you look into the Axemen cast, the more complicated and unsettling the truth becomes. Keep watching all the way through, because the final person on this list has a story that completely flips everything you thought you knew. Number 3. Jimmy Frank Smith. As the first cast member from Axemen to pass away, Jimmy Frank Smith's death in 2012 set a somber precedent for the series. His underwater logging operation brought a unique dimension to the show, showcasing the recovery of timber submerged in rivers and lakes across the country. Born on May 3, 1956, in Leavenworth, Washington, Jimmy Smith spent his formative years between Leavenworth and North Bend. After graduating from school, he enlisted in the United States Army. Upon receiving his discharge, Smith returned to North Bend, where he married Sandra Jackson. Throughout his life, Smith embraced various opportunities. He relocated to Farmington, Washington, to attend Big Bend Community College. Afterward, he moved back to North Bend, before ultimately settling in Cle Elum. Prior to founding his logging operation, Smith worked as a carpenter. Beyond his professional endeavors, Smith was an outdoor enthusiast who enjoyed hunting and fishing. He particularly loved his dogs, demonstrating his affection for animals. This passion for nature contributed to his perspective on resource recovery in waterways. Smith's claim to fame came through S&S Aqua Logging, which he founded with his son, James L. Smith. Their company specialized in recovering submerged logs from waterways. These valuable timbers often became trapped underwater after logging operations of past decades. The father-son duo first appeared in Season 2 of Axemen, filmed in October and November 2008. The episodes aired in March 2009, bringing their underwater logging operations to national attention. Smith continued to appear in episodes of Seasons 3 and 4, ultimately featuring in 5 seasons before his death. His business faced legal scrutiny at times. Washington state investigators examined Smith's activities after learning he was receiving disability payments since 1993 for injuries sustained while working at Schneider Construction. Yet Smith declared on the show that logs his team recovered were worth approximately $10,000. After a lengthy battle with cancer, Jimmy Smith passed away on November 1st, 2012, in Wenatchee, Washington. He was 56 years old at the time of his death. Reports indicate he had battled the disease for an extended period before succumbing to it. His declining health became visible to viewers during his final appearances on the show. In one particularly poignant episode, James briefly left logging operations to accompany his father to an oncology appointment. Doctors discovered Smith had a tumor the size of a grapefruit on his gallbladder. The History Channel acknowledged Smith's passing with a heartfelt statement. "We are extremely saddened to report that our friend and beloved member of the Axemen family, Jimmy Smith, passed away yesterday. From the first day we met Jimmy, we knew America needed to experience this truly one-of-a-kind character." Smith's memorial service took place on November 17, 2012, at Mount View Cemetery in Leavenworth, Washington. Those who knew him remembered a man passionate about family, the outdoors, and his work on Axemen. His son James attempted to continue the family's logging legacy after his father's passing. The sixth season's debut episode of Axemen, titled All or Nothing, was dedicated to Smith's memory. Since his family and friends still cherish his memory, his impact on underwater logging and reality television remains intact through reruns of the show and the ongoing work of those he influenced. Number 2. Dwayne Dethlefs. Veteran timber cutter, Dwayne Dethlefs represented the embodiment of old-school logging on the popular History Channel series. As a key member of the Peel logging crew, his gruff exterior and decades of experience made him a memorable character who connected viewers to logging's traditional roots. Born December 29, 1958, in Hillsboro, Oregon, Dwayne Dean Dethlefs grew up immersed in the Pacific Northwest's rich logging culture. His parents, Harv R. Dethlefs and Shirley J. Davis Stevens, raised him in Forest Grove, Oregon, where he received his education. Throughout his 60 years, Dethlefs developed extensive expertise as a timber faller, working across multiple states including Oregon, Washington, and Alaska. Beyond his professional identity, Dethlefs maintained strong family connections. He fathered 2 children, son Dustin, married to Jennifer, who resided in Ketchikan, Alaska, and daughter Jessie, who lived in Vader, Washington. His family extended to include 4 siblings and 4 beloved grandchildren, Dawson, Decline, Braylin, and Timberlin. Primarily, his interests outside work centered around hunting and fishing, activities that complemented his outdoor-focused career. As a 30-year veteran in the timber industry, Dethlefs brought unparalleled authenticity to Axemen. He joined the cast in 2009, appearing in 6 episodes of the series. His position with Peel Logging placed him at the heart of the operation, where his wealth of knowledge and traditional approaches to logging were regularly showcased. The crew at Peel Logging operated like family, sometimes dysfunctional but consistently entertaining. Dethlefs made a notable return to Peel Logging during the show, a moment highlighted in the series. His reputation for being simultaneously grumpy and funny became one of his defining characteristics, endearing him to viewers. On December 6, 2019, Dethlefs passed away at his home in the Vernonia community at age 60. The precise cause of his death was not made public in official announcements. Consequently, many followers of the show speculated that he died of natural causes, though this remains unconfirmed. The Mike Peel logging crew formally announced Dethlefs' death with a heartfelt statement acknowledging the loss to the logging world and broader community. They described him as one of the grumpiest, funniest, and hard-working loggers, whose absence would be felt not only by his crews and the logging community but by fans of the show as well. His family requested that donations in his memory be directed to Camp 18 Logging Museum and Loggers Memorial in Seaside, Oregon. This choice reflected his lifelong connection to the logging industry. Altogether, his reputation for being experienced, dedicated, diligent, and funny continues to resonate with those who knew him personally and viewers who appreciated his authentic representation of the logging profession. Finally, his passing marked another significant loss for the Axemen community, reinforcing the reality that the dangers and challenges faced by loggers extend beyond what cameras capture for entertainment. You think you know what happened to the Axemen cast, but trust me, half of these stories never made headlines. Stick around till the end, because the last entry is one even longtime fans struggle to believe. Number 1. Van Huffman. The mysterious disappearance of Van Huffman in Alaska's remote wilderness shook the logging community to its core. His story, featured prominently in Axemen's 4th season, highlighted the genuine dangers loggers face beyond the more visible hazards of falling trees and heavy machinery. Limited information exists about Van Huffman's personal life or background prior to his appearance on Axemen. As a member of Alaska's crew, he worked in one of the most challenging logging environments in North America. The isolation and extreme conditions of Suemes Island, where he operated, required exceptional fortitude from all crew members. Huffman worked with the Papek, Alaska logging crew, whose operations were featured in the 4th season of the History Channel series. His team faced some of the harshest conditions in the industry, with the remote Alaskan wilderness presenting unique challenges beyond those encountered by logging crews in more accessible regions. In early 2011, logging country was rattled when Huffman vanished without trace, described as having disappeared into thin air. The Papek crew endured brutal conditions while searching for their missing colleague. Throughout multiple episodes, viewers witnessed the desperate search as time was running out for finding Huffman. Tragically, his body was eventually discovered in Alaska's wilderness. With this, we have come to the end of this video. Thanks for watching. If you enjoyed this video, do well to like, comment, and subscribe for more content. To enjoy more thrilling stories, click now on the following video that pops up on your screen.